Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to uncover 25 advanced tricks and hidden features that will absolutely transform how you use ChatGPT in 2026. Listen, if you've been feeling like you're barely scratching the surface of what artificial intelligence can actually do, maybe you're just using it to write a polite email or fix some typos, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to upgrade your skills today so you can save hours of time and drastically improve the real quality of your professional work. So here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll talk about adopting the power user mindset. Second, mastering the perfect prompt. Third, building advanced AI workflows. Fourth, upgrading your strategic thinking. And finally, creating your ultimate AI collaborator.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the power user mindset. It is time to completely shift your approach to artificial intelligence.
I want you to be totally honest with me for a second. When you open up ChatGPT, do you just ask a simple question, get a basic answer, and then move on? Do you treat it kind of like a conversational Google, asking for a quick dinner recipe or a definition of a complex word? If the answer is yes, hey, don't worry, you're definitely not alone. But the reality is, by stopping there, you are leaving massive career-altering value on the table. The truth is, most people use only a tiny fraction of this technology's true capabilities because they treat it like a basic search engine. The harsh reality is that if you're just doing basic Q&A, you are wasting immense potential. Think about this. While you might spend 3 agonizing hours manually reading through meeting transcripts and organizing your notes into action items, an AI power user simply drops that text in and gets the whole shebang done in about 30 seconds. The difference isn't that they have better technology, it's that they know how to unlock it as a workspace. There's a great saying in the tech world right now, think of it as an intelligent collaborator. Its greatest strength isn't actually answering questions, it's helping you think better. It's an active workspace designed for dynamic collaboration, right? It's not a vending machine where you put a quarter in and get a snack out. When you use it correctly, it functions as your writer, your programmer, your business consultant, and your dedicated data analyst, all converging in one single conversation. Okay, moving on to section 2, mastering the perfect prompt. Let's see how defining clear parameters completely upgrades your output. Think about the profound difference between a really vague prompt and a clearly defined role. If you just type in, write an article about AI, the system is forced to completely guess your tone, your audience, and how deep you want to go. But if you assign it a specific persona, say tell it, you are an award-winning technology journalist writing for a global audience, you literally force the AI to adapt to a highly professional perspective. Suddenly, the content it generates feels much more focused, engaging, and remarkably accurate to what you actually need. So, the secret here is that professionals spend way more time defining the context and the problem than they do requesting the solution. Imagine going to a high-end marketing agency to design a massive campaign, but you completely refuse to tell them your budget, your audience, or even what your product is. I mean, they'd look at you like you were crazy, right? Well, the exact same logic applies to AI. If you feed it your budget constraints, your target demographic, and a list of your direct competitors, you'll watch the relevance of its output absolutely skyrocket. You can also use ChatGPT as your own personalized private tutor by using a layered learning approach. Let's say you want to understand quantum computing. Don't just ask one massive, overly complex question. Start simple. Tell it, explain this to me like I'm 12 years old. Once you've got a grip on those absolute basics, step it up. Ask for a university-level breakdown. Finally, demand 5 real-world use cases. This progressive, step-by-step method makes mastering incredibly complex topics super efficient, and it locks in your understanding at a pace that's completely tailored to you. Let's dive into section 3, building advanced AI workflows and effectively automating your systems. Advanced users strictly avoid what we call the single question trap. Instead, they use a highly strategic method called prompt chaining. Here is why this works so well. AI actually has a limited attention span per prompt. So by separating your tasks, first researching the topic, second agreeing on an outline, and third writing it out section by section, you give the system the focus it needs to excel at one specific thing at a time. This step-by-step division of labor dramatically improves the depth and quality of your final product. By chunking your similar workflows together, you can essentially treat this technology like a personal digital assembly line. Let it handle the heavy lifting. Have it rapid-fire brainstorm 20 catchy headlines while you go grab a coffee. Use it to instantly polish your rough, late-night drafts into crisp, professional clarity. And hey, if you do the exact same task every single day, like maybe summarizing weekly status reports, build reusable prompt templates. That way your digital assembly line is ready to roll the second you sit down at your desk. Eventually, you're going to want to move toward pipeline integration. Now, I know that sounds like heavy corporate jargon, but pipeline integration really just means connecting your raw materials directly to the AI. Instead of asking it general internet questions, you're plugging in your own massive PDFs, your messy financial spreadsheets, or raw meeting transcripts. The system instantly transitions from a generic tool into a unified production flow. It starts hunting for action items, extracting key metrics, and finding hidden trends entirely within your own proprietary files. It is a real game changer.
All right, let's shift gears to Section 4, upgrading your strategic thinking and how to make structured decisions. We are now at the stage where AI stops just doing your daily chores and actually starts helping you make major strategic choices. If you're facing a tough decision, ask ChatGPT to build a comparative matrix. For example, compare a high ROI but costly market expansion against a low-risk, slow-growth retention strategy. Having the AI map out the specific strengths, weaknesses, and financial trade-offs in a structured matrix almost always reveals crucial insights that you would completely miss if you were just reading through dense paragraphs of text. Listen, we have all sat through terrible presentations that were just a boring, endless list of disjointed facts. The next time you have a big pitch, do not just ask the AI to generate bullet points for your slides. Instead, ask it to design a logical storytelling narrative first. Have it rigorously walk through the initial problem, the supporting evidence, the root cause analysis, and finally the ultimate solution. Strong, cohesive storytelling will always be beautiful slides, and AI is absolutely phenomenal at structuring a highly persuasive argument. You can also use it to actively uncover your own strategic blind spots. Tell it to simulate a brutal panel of expert critics right before you launch a project. Ask it to act as a skeptical investor, looking for financial risks, a ruthless critic hunting for logic flaws, and maybe a lawyer looking for compliance issues. By asking it directly, hey, what major risks have I completely ignored here? You drastically reduce your own confirmation bias, and you can patch those weaknesses long before they become real-world problems. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, the ultimate AI collaborator, and building a long-term partnership. By continuously organizing everything you learn through this system, you are effectively building a searchable second brain that scales right alongside your career. Over time, this becomes your ultimate personal repository. Whether you're picking up Python coding on the weekends, summarizing dense industry research, or mapping out a totally new career path in digital marketing, ChatGPT can organize that journey into manageable milestones. It can even generate custom flashcards to ensure you actually retain exactly what you've learned. But please remember this, while this technology is incredibly capable, it is an accelerator, not the final infallible authority. Always, always verify scientific claims, medical information, and financial statistics. At the end of the day, you are the pilot with your hands on the wheel. The human judgment system has to remain strictly active. Your critical thinking, your ethical boundaries, and your ability to verify facts in the real world, that is what actually gives you a true competitive advantage. The most successful users out there do not simply delegate work to ChatGPT and just walk away hoping for the best. Treating AI like a true creative partner produces vastly better outcomes than treating it like a vending machine. Power users actively brainstorm, they refine, and most importantly, they push back. If the AI gives you a terrible idea, tell it exactly why it's bad and ask it to try again. When you bounce ideas back and forth as equals, the final product is always sharper and so much more innovative. We are rapidly entering an era where AI literacy is no longer just some futuristic bonus. It is the absolute baseline for the next decade. Millions of people already have access to this exact same tool, so your advantage comes entirely from how you choose to wield it. The technology is here, it is waiting on your instructions. So the only question left for you is, are you going to keep treating it like a simple search bar, or are you ready to finally meet your new collaborative partner?